You good to go?
I think I'm going to need an elixir for this one.
Well, I think I know just the subclass.
Right, Mitch, I have my elixir. I'm ready to go.
And
Talk to me about what is an alchemist.
what is an alchemist? An alchemist is an expert at combining reagents to produce mystical effects. Alchemists use their creations to give life and delete it away. Alchemists are the best class in Dungeons and Dragons by far, as written here in this book called Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
I think that's written in there, yeah.
Yeah, it's right there.
All right.
So, we're going to be talking about the subclass called the Alchemist, which, going in this hard copy book, how would I get one of these? Like, this is fantastic. This is like, feel the texture on that.
How would you get one of these? You would go somewhere and spend your own money on it, or you could like, subscribe, comment, do everything that says down there in the doobly-doo, and you will go into a running. Very shortly, we're about to have a competition to release one of these books. We are very close to a small but important milestone here at Big Game Small Pieces, and we want to get more people into D&D. So
when we get to 3 followers, thanks, mums.
I love you, Mum.
Oh, that's such a bad joke. Why did you leave me? So
anyway,
what did I choose?
like and comment on any of these videos, and that'll put you in the running. So, but moving on, Mitch, tell me, what do I get when I become an alchemist?
You get a tool proficiency, which is a good one. So you gain proficiency with alchemist supplies. If you've already got this proficiency, you gain proficiency with one other type of artisan tools of your choice.
That's good.
Obviously, brewer's supplies is a good one.
That links in nice and well.
Herbalism.
Herbalism you're talking about.
Glass
And
blower.
Glass blowing is another big one, all tied to that trade.
Yep. And then, of course, you could do tailoring because everyone likes to look nice.
It'll look fly.
Pretty fly. Don't say it. Alrighty. Next up, we also get spells at level 3. So these alchemist spells are what we get specifically with the alchemist. So at 3rd level, you would get Healing Word and Ray of Sickness. At 5th level, you get Flaming Sphere and Melf's Acid Arrow. 9th level, you get Gaseous Forms, Mass Healing Word. 13th level, Blight and Death Ward. And 17th level, Cloud Kill and Raise Dead. And honestly, Cloud Kill sounds like an amazing one to have as a
brewer.
Alchemist. Very, very fitting for all those middle school chemistry accidents where they accidentally create mustard gas.
Gas out
That's basically what we've got here. And I really enjoy the idea of Healing Word being a automatic syringe gun.
Something. You got to fill it out.
Just literally launching injections at people. All right, so what are your first thoughts with that?
I like it. I think they're all good. I think you can throw them all into potions, powders, some sort of something that someone's going to take or hurl at someone. The Flaming Sphere could be an out-of-control explosion that you just happen to know how to make, but you can kind of steer it towards where it needs to go, the bad guys. And
Can I suggest Melf's Acid Arrow, having Melf be an acronym for some factory that you worked at? Mm-hmm. And it's Melf's Acid Arrow, and you've literally got a pack of acid arrows from the Melf workshop. Yeah, and Raised Dead is fairly Frankensteinly obvious.
Late in the game, but yeah, you are combining alchemic things to bring them back.
So far, just an awesome subclass.
At 3rd level, you also gain what really makes this class this class. The feature's going to follow you the whole way through.
Hell yeah.
Experimental Elixir. So, 3rd level, whenever you finish a long rest, you can magically produce an experimental elixir in an empty flask you touch. Roll on the experimental elixir table for the elixir's effect, which is triggered when someone drinks the elixir. So you get to roll on the table and decide what it does, and then it triggers when someone drinks it. So I guess that means you know what it is. There's no surprises, unless that's how you want to play it. As an action, a creature can drink the elixir or administer it to an unconscious creature. You can create additional experimental elixirs by expanding a spell slot of level 1 or higher for create the elixir. An empty flask you touch. To do so is an action, and you choose the elixir's effect from the experimental elixir table. So now instead of rolling, you choose when you're using a spell slot. Creating an experimental requires you to have alchemical supplies on your person, and any elixir you create in this fashion lasts until it is drunk or until the end of your next long rest. When you reach a certain level in this class, you can make more elixirs at the end of a long rest, 2 at level 6 and 3 at level 15. Roll for each elixir separately, and each elixir requires its own flask. So here are the elixirs that you can create. Healing, being 2d4 plus your intelligence modifier. Swiftness, being increasing your walking speed by 10 for an hour. Resilience, plus 1 to your AC for 10 minutes. Boldness, the drinker can roll a 1d4 and add that number to every attack roll and saving throw for the next minute. Flight, you gain flight of 10 feet. It'll get you up eventually. Yeah. And transformation, the drinker's body is transformed as by the alter self spell. The drinker determines the transformation caused by the spell and the effects which last 10 minutes. Elixirs, Mitch, how good are they?
They are fantastic. They only get better with age/experience/levels, but I love them, and I love the idea of either having your homunculus have lots of flasks around their midsection that you fill up in the morning that they can issue.
A steward, yeah.
Or have it stored up here in flasks, and there's a gap in their midsection that people use like a drink machine. So they walk up, that's the action, fill in the, oh yeah, cheers, put some ice with it. Thank you. But I love the fact that this is a blessed spell. This is a healing potion. This is Long Strider. This is some sort of amulet of protection. This is flight or alter self that you can hand to people. So while at level 6, 2 of them are random, you can spend all your lower spell slots, or quite a few of them, getting these potions ready and issuing them out before a battle so that people can use them to heal each other. This is the sort of thing that does create the ultimate support because it's not reliant on you being conscious. So you can throw yourself in front of something, take all the hits. It's just amazing.
Nice.
I love it.
Tell us about Alchemical Savant.
So, this is what I was saying. So at level 5, you've developed masterful command of magical chemicals, enhancing the healing and damage you create through them. Whenever you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as a spellcasting focus, you gain a bonus to 1 roll of that spell. That roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison damage. And the bonus equals your intelligence modifier. So, basically, at level 5, I'm hoping you've got 18 intelligence plus 4. So that's plus 4 damage to acid, fire, necrotic, and poison damage. It's also plus 4 to your healing spells as well. So, yeah, good little bonus, and can come in very handy with your acid spells. Especially if you mix it with Alchemical Savant to get the increased damage from the feet.
Yeah, we're level 5, and it's our 4th thing we've gained from this class.
It's amazing. All right, so that's going to stack up nicely. The next one doesn't have a bonus to damage. It's only got the bonus to the healing potion. So do you want to have a look at Restorative Agents?
I would like to know about Restorative Reagents.
I'll let you talk about this one, but I actually got to play this in a one-shot with one of my favourite GMs.
Yep.
And it was fantastic. I said one of.
One of, yeah.
Not the.
Yeah.
Not the. All right.
Righto, Restorative Agents is a 9th level alchemist feature. So, you can incorporate restorative reagents into some of your works. Whenever a creature drinks an experimental elixir you create, the creature gains temporary hit points of 2d6 plus your intelligence modifier minimum 1. You can also cast Lesser Restoration without expending a spell slot and without preparing the spell. Provided that you use alchemical supplies as the spellcaster focus, you can do so a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier, and we're hoping it's at least 3 by level 9, if not 5. You can do so a number of times equal to the intelligence modifier, and you regain all expended uses after you finish a long rest. So you are giving out lesser restorations left, right, and centre. People need cures, you've got cures.
So, if the experimental elixir is a healing potion, you're getting 2d4 plus your intelligence modifier. Mm-hmm. So let's say it is 5.
Yep.
So it's 8, 13 potential. Mm-hmm. Especially if you take one of the things that give you max healing.
Plus another
2d6.
Plus your intelligence modifier. 25
plus 5, 30. From one healing potion. 30 HP.
I love your math. Cool. That's a lot of hit points to get someone up and running again, and it can be on the person, which means that potion can be running around on them, and also someone else can administrate it, not the alchemist. So
yeah, and in a lot of games, a bonus action is what it takes to drink a potion. So let's just say you spent your first, second, and third level spells pumping these out and giving them to everyone.
We got plenty of heals. Plenty of heals in one day.
Alrighty. But moving on to Chemical Mastery, this is the last trait that we get from this subclass. There is, of course, the Soul of the Artificer and stuff later on. And I do understand there's a bit of an issue with the way people say Artificer or
Artificer. Artificer.
Artificer's right. Suck it. So, Chemical Mastery. 15th level Alchemist feature. You've been exposed to so many chemicals that they pose little risk to you, and you can use them to quickly end certain ailments. Mm-hmm. You gain resistance to acid damage, poison damage, and are immune to the poison condition.
That's good. No more disadvantage.
Yeah, I like that. You can cast Greater Restoration and Heal without expending a spell slot, without preparing the spell, and without using material components, providing you use alchemist supplies at the spellcasting focus. Once you cast either spell with this feature, you can't cast that spell again with it until you finish a long rest. Now, I read this a couple times. Mm-hmm. The way I read this is you can cast both of them once per long rest.
Yes, because it says
right.
either. It says either.
It says either, and it does say you can cast both of them. So I was pretty sure.
So either.
It says either spell,
Either.
but then it says that spell. You
Yeah.
can't cast that spell.
You can do heal one, and then you can do Greater Restoration the other.
I love that. So you heal them, and then hand them a potion that heals them for potentially 30.
Yeah.
And they could be up, heals 70 hit points?
Oh, heals a lot. I'd have to look at it from him. But yeah, it is a lot of hit points coming their way.
What would you go with this? Character
What sort of character concept? I would play I mean, I love the crazy. I've played Artificers before. I've played Artillerists and some others, and I've enjoyed playing them. Fun, creative, if you've got good DMs. But a good safe way to go is obviously someone who's he's been sitting around the Bunsen burner a little bit too long, breathing in mercury vapors. He's not all currently there, and his mindset doesn't always go the same way everyone else's does. So you're a little unhinged. You're potentially a little chaotic. Maybe one eye's a little more open than the other, and your hair's tuffed up, and you're just this crazy old coot who's running around with more explosive items on him than is good for any person to enjoy. Could be any class or race being done like this. I always character concept before without a class or race usually, but this is someone who is always pushing boundaries, trying new things, and will walk up and just taste something off the wall and be like, yeah, that's poisonous.
Yeah, I like that.
I really shouldn't have had that.
Yeah, in the traits that you fill out on D&D Beyond that, it's like one of them is can't resist tasting unknown substance.
Yeah, so that would be the sort of thing you do. You're someone who just a
Yes.
little impulsive to find the intelligence for it.
It's got that nightshade. It's nightshade. I recognise it.
I get that. I know it.
I think I'd have to go with a classic saying, the way to hell is paved with good intentions. So I would like a failed inventor, someone that whichever town they go to generally get kicked out for trying to do the right thing and screwing up. So I would make it a half-elf. The half-elf that witnessed his parents fall apart as one of them grew old and the other one stayed young, and wanted to try and fix that. So, brewed potions and worked on it until made a concoction and fed it to both his parents, and it made his beautiful young mother old. And that sort of thing, like
couple life,
sort of monkey paw sort of inventions that really messed up. And basically his history is, I've been around inventing things, and like he does make things, but instead of an anti-aging elixir, he's made an aging elixir. Instead of making a love potion, he makes a potion that makes people physically stay like a kinetic barrier 10 feet away from you. Yeah, just
static.
Just like literally as they walk, they hit a wall and they're like, what the? It's like a giant sumo suit. And just a lovable fool that has the best intentions and the biggest heart, but I don't know how I keep fucking up. It's not my problem.
Didn't do that last time I made this.
Yeah. All I know is that they survived, I think. But no, I'd go with that just because I love characters with a big heart, and I especially love to see them fail.
No worries. What do you think are good tips for players and DMs for this subclass?
This is one of the things that I was worried about, and then I did get to sit in at Dreaded GM's table, and I asked him a few questions, and he just sort of said, do whatever. And so when I pulled out my shield and then extended it out and put it down and opened the doors of my fridge of holding, and then walked inside to go through and get some potions, he was like, cool, that's awesome. And like I had the best time talking about all my inventions, and my favorite invention was literally my backpack. I pulled down two little things and it became a stool, so I could sit down while everyone else was standing like suckers with 500 pounds in their back. And it was one of those things where like the DM made that game for me by allowing me to be my character and to enjoy it. So I would say I'm just going to give one tip, and that's player and DM tip, is this is a negotiation. This is, you have an intent to play with this character. Your DM has a world that they intend to present to you and to create. Having the distinctions talked about and either just letting your players do what they want, or to conform your character within the DM's vision for the world, or at least realistically. That's a big thing for me. So you don't want to play at a table where you're going to upset people and they're not going to let you live your character's dream, because that's not fun for anyone.
Yeah, if I had an alchemist in mind, or any type of artificer, or any character in mind that I want to do, and I was told, sorry, I don't want you to play that, here's a cleric instead. And you're like, I had my heart set on this thing. That's what I came to here. That's what I came here to spend my hours for week after week to play, and you've told me I can't do the thing I want to do. By all means, you have a world that you are shaping, but players also shape that world. So with all artificers, artificers and such, you need to bring them in and understand where the boundaries are. One thing I would do is I'd be talking to, without even using any special abilities, if I roll really well on my alchemy supplies kit, what can I make from that? And that's potentially something as a player you need to potentially go and approach the DM and say, listen, like I need just things I can make, non-magical or whatever, that I can just make. Like I can make touch powder, I can make all sorts of things. I can make glowing phosphorescence, I can make things just by using my alchemy supplies, because that's what they're for. Same as a blacksmith can make a sword, I can make a salve or a glowing thing that'll do this, or something that'll give off heat for a while by putting these two chemicals together, or some such. Like, so you need to approach the DM for coming up with some sort of charts and tables. If you're the DM, you need to start thinking about these sort of charts, and also learning what level you're going to allow your artificer to go to. I've played one that had shrinking cannons, had all sorts of weird brains in jars. It was looking at putting a brain out of this person into this person, because he was a bit of a mad scientist. Like, that was the type of character I was playing. And we saved a character using raise dead by pulling his brain out and putting it in another body, and we raised
do
dead.
it.
And
Yeah.
that's with the sort of stuff we came up with. Me and that DM sat down for ages talking about all the things I could create and putting DCs and time limits. How long is it going to take to research and come up with all this sort of stuff
Yeah.
and what you need to get there? So DMs, it is your world, but also it's collaborative storytelling and building. So if your players want to go in a direction, maybe you're helping them go in that direction and coming up with your player, all right, what do you want to invent next week? Talk to me about it so we can come up with some things, and I can set some DCs and we can see if you can get there.
The Alchemist, my favorite Artificer subclass. I gave it.
That was temporary hit points. I'm good.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wasn't that one. But yes, goodbye.